Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. And it's that time of the year when Saturn is going retrograde. So today's video is dedicated to this transit, Saturn going retrograde in Aquarius, and how it will work for you as per your ascendant and of course your moon sign, and a lot depends upon your Mahadasha, Antardasha, and there are many things to see in the horoscope. But yes, a general picture what this transit can bring for you. So Saturn will go retrograde around 17th of June till 4th of November 2023, and let's quickly understand what does this transit is all about. When Saturn goes retrograde, things do slow down. It's not moving backwards. Yes, we know that. It's just that it's going, backward. It's the difference in the speed of two different objects. If one is moving faster, the other one appears to be moving back. So it's like, Mom, our car is going backwards. No, it's just that the others are moving faster. But why things go slow when Saturn goes retrograde? It's because it's time to look into a chapter, a certain aspect of life with great detail. If we are in a hurry, we will always lose the details, we'll always, ignore the big picture. So Saturn is slowing down the affairs of that house where right now it's transiting from. So Saturn opens this chapter where the aspect of that house, situations, events connected to that house needs to be developed, needs to be seen in a very careful manner, in a detailed way. It could be the present chapter of your life where you have to work a lot or you have to attain some kind of mastery in that. So it's about improving. It's not like you're going back and things are being destroyed. Of course, Saturn does bring the element of pain and challenges, but you're working very well. You're doing your best. And retrograde planets, they do have the Cheshta Bal, which means the ability to put in efforts. So your ability to take the efforts is going to be amazing. So where Saturn is right now, a chapter opens up in that house where you have to work the most, development is required, but the root, what you need to correct, what you need to maybe remove or work upon to get that house functional or improve that secret is with Rahu. Because right now Saturn is transiting from Aquarius. Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu. Saturn is also in the Shatbisha Nakshatra, which is ruled by Rahu. So let's see where Rahu is placed. So Rahu is right now in Aries. Fine. So we look into the house where Rahu is placed and we'll understand what needs to be corrected, what needs to be initiated so that you attain the mastery with respect to the Saturn house. Okay, so Saturn going retrograde is about increasing your efforts, attaining mastery in that, putting your best efforts in what you want to create in life. And it could be also a chapter from your past, maybe a repeated pattern again happening right now. It's because now you will understand why a certain situation happened and how you can avoid the situation in the future. So bringing some kind of correction, learning a big lesson so that next time you see it, you're more wise and you know what to do to avoid that experience, that suffering, that situation. Okay, so let's understand what this transit of retrograde Saturn is bringing for you. So let's begin. For Aries, Saturn is going retrograde in your 11th house, Aquarius. A time when you're going to be so busy with your work. And it's not like, oh, it's a burden, it's so tough to deal with. It's like getting into the detail of what you are creating right now, like the building blocks, right? You're preparing a building, you're working a lot for it, doing the preparation, getting the materials and designing everything. So master planning. master planning happening as Saturn goes retrograde, block by block, doing what is required right now. So this is a time when you will get quite busy, much focused on what you want to grow right now and how it's going to help you in the future. So a lot of dreams you have for the future, for your work, and this is it. This is where you are giving yourself completely to that goal. Now, Rahu in the first house, as I mentioned, something needs to be taken care of where the Rahu is placed, because Saturn transits from Aquarius, and of course we have to see then where is the co-lord of Aquarius, that is Rahu. So Rahu in your first house in Aries, and this is a clear indicator of that as you work very hard, along with that, it's time to give yourself some rest. It's of more of a physical rest, and also this is a rest regarding to your identity. Okay, because Rahu is transiting from the first house of self. This is the house of identity. So in order to acquire your goals, in order to achieve what you want, you have been showing a picture of yourself, pretending to be someone, pretending to be a personality. And as Saturn goes retrograde, there is fatigue. You may get tired, you may get frustrated by taking up that kind of personality or a role you have, because I need to show a certain picture of mine that is going to function very well. So it's like, just you need to calm down and connect with your individuality, your true self, taking a break from what others are desiring to see in you and to focus on what you want to see in yourself. That is a great spiritual work which needs to happen in this transit, and that is what you will be doing, taking a breather and working on your confidence as well. Like, you don't have to pretend to show confidence to others, like I have this much of strength and power, but actually you are developing your power, your courage so nicely. And again, taking a break from what others want to see in you, and rather becoming more connected to self. Acceptance of self is such an important thing. So with respect to career, you're doing good. I don't see major problems here, but things are slowing down a bit, or I would say it's like you're too much into the detailing of the work you are doing. This is a very good opportunity. As you do your best, this enhances your profit, this enhances your ability to grow more and more finances. It's like you're decorating your life as you work hard on your skill, as you create better plans. This is enhancing the money, it is enhancing the material growth for you. As Saturn goes retrograde, at this time you're also looking at your relationships with great detail, because Saturn is transiting from the 11th house to social connections, network, friendships, and then it aspects the 5th house of romance, that is ruled by Leo, and you already have Ketu in the 7th house in Libra. Time to clear certain things, to clean up, to because you are a bit overactive, like trying to manage everything. Rahu in Aries in the first house shows the state of being overwhelmed, and this feeling, this intense feeling, is somehow connected to the people in life, because it's the house of self is threatened, and you are working hard to stay more strong. And Saturn going retrograde wants to tell you, wants to teach you, if you really have the right people in your life, the people who are adding meaning into your life, you need not to fight. You need not to be pretend to be someone. You need not to be always overwhelmed, like I'm losing people, I have to do something so that these people stick to me. No, this is what requires again the major focus, because how people are dealing with you and how it impacts your individuality, your identity, it straight away impacts your 11th house, the house of achievements, the house of fulfillment of your goals. It delays that aspect. And if you strengthen yourself, your achievements are getting more better. You will be able to execute your plans in a very great way. So you are carrying some kind of some kind of baggage or emotional burden, and it's not yours, it's of others. Like you are managing your own stuff, but you're managing other people's burden as well. So the relationships, the people around you are under a test, and you need to set yourself free from such bonds which are actually quite draining. Like you are holding the responsibility of everything. And also, this is a message coming through Saturn here, that if you want to see a big change in your life, straight away start with your identity. Straight away start with the confidence that I can have it, I can do it. And don't let the connections interfere in your life. This is the house of friends. The true friends will be there for you, giving you the hand of assistance and help. And you will find great help at this time. In this period of Saturn going retrograde, the friendships are being tested. The companionship is being tested. And the big lesson of Saturn is, if you want to reach to your goals, if you want to fulfill your plans, whatever dream you have in your eyes, it starts with you. That sense of I would say aggression, getting frustrated, and being overwhelmed all the time, like what will happen next, this needs to be managed, because this is draining the energy, like all of your physical strength, power going into such places or ideas, and which are of no use. So constructive use of your strength, of your skills, is the most important thing. At this time, you may not only get great support from the people who really think you are amazing, who truly value you, but at this time, others may also seek your help, your assistance. It could be financial, it could be that you are the leader, you are a great guide, and you are helping them in their career. You're supporting them with some kind of advice. So a brilliant time to help others, and this will be very rewarding for you. This is something Saturn wants you to learn about, to help others. Even sometimes when we are not so strong, we are not so patient with our own self, and then still we are helping others, that act is so beautiful. And this is something which may happen for you, and it will be very rewarding. It will be so rewarding for your future path. For Taurus, Saturn going retrograde in your 10th house. So your approach towards work is important. That's where you have to understand the Saturn's lesson. It might be that you may get a bit bored. You may get sluggish in your professional journey. And it's natural, like when we are doing something, it's taking time, and there are times when we lose our focus, we do lose energy, and that is a true test of Saturn for you in this transit. Are you doing your work just for the sake of completing it, like it has to be done, so let's do this? Or you're doing your work with full interest and taking each step slowly, focusing on it, being completely into that work, that essence of getting into details, understanding every step, and learning so much. In this retrograde motion of Saturn in Aquarius, this is about understanding each step, what you're doing at your workplace, and every step leads to this abundant growth. Like you learn so many things from that one step. It's like you are into a crash course where you're learning so much in a short period of time. So it's happening in your career. Like you may get sluggish, you may get bored at this time, but don't lose the final picture here. And on every step of your work, you're learning great things. You're developing certain skills which are not being taught in any school or university, but these skills, this way of working is required if you want to go a long way in your professional path, and this comes from practice. So this is what you are learning in your career path. For a lot of people, this is about new responsibilities, or you have certain responsibilities and now these responsibilities are getting quite intense, so work pressure is definitely there. For some people, it could be also that you're doing your best, but still somewhere you get stuck. You're not finding out the way, or you're not seeing the results. So Saturn here is bringing the lesson to patiently wait for some time, and you will see the results, you will see the path. Because as I mentioned, that Saturn will open a chapter where you have to work the most, but where Rahu is placed, from there you will get an idea what needs to be taken care of, so that you can develop the lesson, develop something which Saturn is bringing for you. So Rahu, which is the co-lord of Aquarius, is in the 12th house in Aries. And this is about the subconscious, how you are talking to self, how positive you are, how negative you are with respect to something in life. And if you get tired mentally at this time, then you need to wait patiently. You need not to be quite overwhelmed, frustrated, or angry, because Rahu, what it's doing in the 12th house in Aries, it's keeping you anxious all the time, and that needs to be taken care of. That's why you feel tired when it's actually the time to work the most, because all of your mind power is going into overthinking and sometimes even imagining certain scenarios which are not true. So you need to know your true feelings, not the idea which you are getting because of your fear. Connecting to the true feelings of yours, addressing them, taking a break, resting is important at this time. So work. You are busy with your professional journey, and you're trying a lot of new ways or methods to reach to the point of success. So a lot of experimentation and learning is happening at this time. And also, it's time to say goodbye to a lot of things which are not required. Rahu in the 12th house, this is the last house in Aries, because if you hold on to these things, it may hurt you. Just opposite to Rahu, there is Ketu in Libra in the 6th house. It could be certain habits which are actually impacting your health. You need to get rid of those habits, say goodbye to those habits. It could be also certain people with whom you don't have a good bonding. Like, these relationships are more of an imbalance, injustice coming into your life, people not treating you the right way, not giving you the equality. That kind of trouble is there. All those tensions are coming through the 6th house, Ketu in Libra. And Rahu Jupiter now is constantly making you focus on those issues, feeling quite tensed over here. Something needs to be left behind. Rahu in Ashwini Nakshatra, 12th house. New initiations. Because the old methods, the old people, the old habits are keeping you stuck from starting with a new journey which you always wanted. You are stuck because Rahu is not letting you do that. And then we also have Jupiter in the same house. Overestimation, over expectations. So you need to end one cycle. This cycle could be just about your beliefs, a certain idea you always wanted to happen but it couldn't happen, or it's about a partnership, or how you're being treated by a significant person. That's the major challenge. And over expenditures, like you are spending too much. That's what Rahu indicates. Or it could be also unexpected expenditures. And this will make you think, how can I improve my career path so that I can enhance my income? How can I enhance my spending capacity? So finances may undergo some fluctuations at this time. For Gemini, Saturn going retrograde in your 9th house. So what does that mean? It is about exploring different paths, exploring different ways, and understanding what's working for you. You might be working on something so nice right now. Anything. It's not just about the career. It could be any aspect of life. You know you are at the right place. You have the right vision. But you don't know from where to begin. Which path is right? What should I do first? So planning, strategy is important. And things may slow down a bit because it's time to really understand your first step. What should be the first thing you should do in order to make things happen? For some people, this is about waiting for that right opportunity which is coming for you in this transit, this retrograde movement of Saturn. And you have to do a lot of preparation in order to make the best of this opportunity. Or I would say, sometimes we don't know what's next on our path. We cannot see the road. It's not illuminated. There is not enough light, and we don't know what's lying ahead. But here, the lesson coming through the retrograde Saturn is to take your first step. Take your first step, and eventually you will see your path, what's happening ahead of you. So that's the thing. And it could be any aspect of your life. 9th house is about moving forward in life, making best of your opportunities, going on this adventurous journey. And Saturn going retrograde, you may feel a bit reluctant, like I don't want to move forward, I don't know what to do. But you see your 10th house, your 10th house of action, your 10th house of how you work, how you present yourself through your work in the society. This house is hemmed between Saturn on one side, and then we have Rahu in Aries. So what's happening here? You have come to a point where things may look scary. It could be that taking a new step in your career looks uncomfortable, or it could be, coming along with a lot of people, connecting with others at the work front may look scary. Getting intimate with someone, a friend or a loved one, getting closer to someone, that may look scary. So you need to take your first step. That's the biggest lesson of Saturn. This is the house of faith. And when Saturn goes retrograde, it has to be about the leap of faith and not thinking much about having control over everything happening in your life. And this is what's the reward here. The reward of your patience here is a big treasure, a big reward waiting for you, like a luck, like you didn't expect this to happen, but it happened anyway. A blessing coming in your path. This is the house of spirituality. So faith on the divine, faith on believing that I'm doing my best, but my actions are supported by someone else out there. I have a big support. That's the lesson. Now, as I mentioned, Saturn opens a chapter for you, and you will learn something in that chapter. But if you want to have this expertise, if you wanted to get into this core of developing yourself, you need to see which habit needs to be taken care of. And this is seen through Rahu, where Rahu is placed. Rahu in the 11th house in Aries. This is about the network. This is about the people, the connections you have. This is about your profits. So what you need to do is to protect yourself. Protecting your finances is the first thing you should do at this time. I'm not saying this transit may impact your income or gains, but it is teaching you to save a little, protecting your finances. And on one side, as I mentioned, Saturn wants you to learn to take the first step, understand people, connect with others, do your work, whatever you want to acquire. But also along with that, you need to protect yourself, because you have Jupiter, Rahu in the 11th house. People coming into your life, taking up your resources and not returning you the favor, not helping you in return. Okay, so there's this boundary of knowing others, this boundary between knowing others, being friendly to others, and then being so giving to others. This boundary needs to be taken care of. And you have to also take care of the memories coming from past, because Saturn also rules your 8th house, Capricorn ruling the 8th house, and certain memories and flashbacks coming in your mind, which is okay, like you cannot stop it. So what's happening with these flashbacks? Either you're thinking too much, it makes you again very fearful about people, how to connect with others, fearful also about your career path, because you may doubt your skills, you may doubt your potential with this. It could also be again of I don't know, I see a fear of intimacy again, which is okay, because the past moments, the past situations are controlling you right now, but you have to go beyond it. You have to take the risk going on this journey of adventure. You cannot stop yourself. You have to get into the unknown. Taking that risk is important, and you have to really use your courage, because Saturn aspects the third house ruled by Leo. The courage, the strength is being tested, and you're actually strengthening yourself as Saturn goes retrograde. For a lot of people, this is about also learning a higher skill, slowing down, going back to school, learning something significant. It's not just about like you're going to university and learning something. Maybe at you are at your workplace, and someone out there, an authority, a teacher, is teaching you something new which you really need to know to improve in your career path. So lack of clarity I do see, but there's this unexpected reward, or I would say treasure, waiting for you. But you have to protect yourself. Like, don't, like, avoid the extremes. Avoid the extremes in relationships where you're too open, too generous, too giving, too kind, and also where you are just, keeping yourself in a room and you're just locking that door, not meeting anyone. So avoid these two extremes. And career, I do see like how Rahu, Saturn are hemming your 10th house ruled by Pisces. There's a great discovery, like this ocean. Your 10th house is ocean, right? Ruled by Pisces. It's been churned. It's been churned by these two malefics, and something beautiful comes out from here. And also you are learning how to work along with the world. And this is going to help you in a long run. For Cancer, Saturn will go retrograde in the 8th house in Aquarius, and the theme for this transit is flow, movement, to be in flow with life. I would say to shake it off, all the stress, all the negativity, and continue to be in movement, continue to do your work, and not stressing over the results and where you are going in life. Because let me tell you, like your 4th house and 8th house, your 4th house is ruled by Libra, your 8th house is ruled by Aquarius. But if we look into the true nature of these houses, 4th house is represented by Cancer, which is a water sign, which is about emotions. And your 8th house, this is the house of Scorpio, which is again about emotions. These are the water signs. Now, in your chart right now, there is Ketu transiting from 4th house in Libra, and now Saturn is ready to go retrograde in Aquarius, which is your 8th house. So having these malefics in such houses which do represent emotions, this means a bit stuck somewhere emotionally and physically as well, because when you get into this emotional state where you feel confused, you feel stuck, it directly impacts your physical movement as well. So there is this, Saturn is bringing this theme of inertia, where life is definitely taking you to somewhere. Life never stops. As you're moving, as your life is moving, you are the one who is restricting this movement. You don't want to go in that path. So this is leading to inertia, like life taking you somewhere, but you don't want to. You are restricting yourself in that movement. And this is the lesson which comes through Saturn going retrograde in the 8th house of uncertainty, which is about getting into the flow of life, not trying to control everything, and becoming more of an observer right now, a learner, rather than taking any major steps or actions. This is also about great sudden gain, some kind of big gain happening in this retrograde motion of Saturn in Aquarius, coming, some kind of financial gain coming through the family, or maybe a partnership, a big sudden gain. It may not look possible like in the initial stages, but it is happening. Sudden unexpected gain coming through the family or a partnership, or it could be like you're winning a certain conflict, or it could be someone else's loss, someone else's opportunity is going away, and you may get that opportunity. You may benefit from someone else's loss. That could be a major theme here. So unexpected gains, unexpected upliftment happens here. But this is very draining emotionally and physically also. It is impacting your health, because as I said, you don't want to open up to where life is taking you right now. You rather have a control on things. That's what you're feeling. And Saturn also shows looking for certain answers, looking for explanation why certain things happen in your life, especially regarding the relationships and how you connect with people, because Saturn rules the seventh house of public and partnership. So you have those answers, you know why certain things happened, but there is no acceptance, because it's a matter of pride. I'm not saying you are egoistic, but as Saturn aspects the second house ruled by Leo, there is pride, there is ego in relationships. With your own loved ones, this might be the case, and you are refusing it to accept, because somewhere the ego is being hurt. Like, how could this person do this to me, or like, how dare they could say this to me. I am a very dignified person, so it's more of how someone was not respecting your value. But this hurt is happening again because Saturn wants you to be very powerful, not looking at that shine, not looking at that glow which we carry physically and our ego. It's about, polishing self. There are certain relationships where we just learn things about our own self. That's it. And this is happening during this retrograde movement of Saturn. Knowing yourself, going deeper and finding your strength, because this strength needs to be used. As I mentioned, Saturn will open a chapter where you have to work the most, and this chapter is to develop self, to be strong. You don't have to find security in others, you have to find your own security and foundation. This is what you are learning, finding yourself, diving deeper. And how it's happening, it's happening through Rahu. Something needs to be checked with Rahu. So Rahu is currently in Aries in the 10th house with Jupiter. Again, this is about too much of thinking about the world, like how others view me, how they view me through my actions, through my career, through my wealth. You need to go beyond it. And there's definitely a big ambition in your mind regarding life, which you want to fulfill. And mostly it's not about money, or like you want to get this huge position in the career. It's about, I want to live beautifully, I want to live life king size. Because the Pisces ruling house, ninth house, is hemmed between Saturn and Rahu right now. You want to live life on your own terms and conditions. You want to live your life the way you want it. Like, I want to experience something, I want to travel, I want to. So there is this huge list of your desires. It's more than finances, it's about experiences. And this can be corrected once you strengthen yourself and stop worrying how the society views you. there's a fear of how others view you. There's also a fear of losing the reputation somewhere, or you're feeling people are still judging you because of your past, because eighth house has a lot to do with the past. So leaving the past behind is a big lesson which you will learn. And also, as you want to develop yourself, Rahu in the 10th house of the career path right now, planning, you are definitely planning a lot in this transit, how to take a dedicated path towards your goals. Longevity of your goals is important. Longevity of your success is important, which you are learning here, which you are striving for. And when it comes to relationships, as I mentioned, Ketu in the 4th house, Saturn in the 8th house, there is emotional block. And though you're trying to improve your partnership or relationship, and this is actually a good time to talk and work on it, but along with that, some self work is also required. Opening up your heart, opening your heart will only happen when you remove these emotional blocks. And these emotional blocks are basically because of anxiety, or simply feeling overwhelmed because of how you were being treated and the difficulties you have seen along with the people, your loved ones, important relationship. So going beyond that and opening your heart again to love, this is something which you are learning to get rid of the fears. So fear of getting closer to people, it could be also a big thing. So learning to go beyond those fears is important. And with respect to career, this is about again planning. You know how to do things, you're very skillful, but again organizing is important part in this transit, which will become the key to success. For Leo, Saturn is going retrograde in the 7th house, Aquarius. And with this retrograde motion of Saturn, what you are learning? You're learning about devotion. Devotion is the major theme of this transit. Saturn is right now in your 7th house. This is the house of the contracts. It's not just about the legal contracts. You are in a business partnership, a marriage partnership, but this is also about relationships where there is a soul to soul contract. You're giving something and you're receiving something in return. It is love. It is the affection, devotion, exchange of gifts, exchange of material things, exchange of responsibilities. So Saturn going retrograde in the 7th house, the contracts are under this test. Major lessons coming through the people. This transit, this retrograde movement is helping to have more focus on what you are learning through your relationships, and also whatever difficult aspect you are going through in your relationship. Sometimes it's more of our inner doubts, guilt, some kind of experience where we have this sense of fear. It reflects in the relationship. That's what Saturn wants you to learn. Number one, that if there is any struggle you're dealing with, finding it difficult to have that proper exchange of love and balance, or something annoying you in the relationship, it's more of two people and their own insecurities, and maybe lack of identity, something related to the identity. So their past experiences are interfering in the relationship. And This is what Saturn wants to clear, to let go those inner fears. From the seventh house, Saturn aspects the first house, which is ruled by Leo. So, as Saturn is going retrograde here, it wants you to learn to draw a line, to draw a boundary between where you need to love yourself, how you need to be devoted towards yourself, and how much you need to be devoted to your relationships. Sun wants you to listen to your heart, not to your ego. There are certain words or how you were being treated, it impacted your self-respect. And now it's not a good time to think about your self-respect, but think about what your soul truly wants, what your soul values, connecting with inner self. The more friction you are dealing in the seventh house, it's actually polishing the first house. You're learning about self, discovering so many things about yourself, certain emotions which needs to be released, let them go. And in the seventh house, Saturn wants you to work on your relationships. And it's not about like you take a break and you have to live all alone. This is about working together as a team, and overcome the challenges to have a successful relationship, a successful partnership. So, not taking things personally, but looking into this brighter side, that whatever is happening, it's somewhere my doubts, this other person's doubts, or past experiences, which is definitely influencing this partnership. And what we can do is to not to judge each other and be more compassionate. So, learning that compassion and focusing on the bigger picture in the partnership, or in a significant relationship, is important. And this is also about, because seventh house is the public affairs. So, constantly following a pattern which is being approved by the world, like this is the path, these things have to be done, my work needs to be so and so, my action needs to be so and so, so that the world does not judge me. This needs to be removed, because in this process of making others happy, following what others have to do, you are losing your own essence. And again, this is the big lesson you are learning, to work along with the world, but also learn to live for yourself. This is a tremendous transformation time for you. How to work along with the world, but still respecting your true self, and not listening to the narrative coming through the world again and again, that you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and if you don't do this, then there is a guilt deep within. Saturn shows guilt when it comes to connecting with the world, important people in your life, feeling as if you are left behind, not doing enough. But it's just that acceptance of how you are moving, no matter how slowly it is or how fast is it. This is about your own journey, and there is no comparison with anyone else. And as I mentioned, this is about devotion. This transit is about committing to what you believe. Saturn will open a chapter where you have to work the most, and that is your partnerships. That is also your goal, your purpose in this life. And which habit can help you to work on this, where you need to improve so that your seventh house gets stronger? Through Rahu. So Rahu is in the ninth house in Aries with Jupiter. Time to connect with your spiritual self, not about the belief system of others. Jupiter is about the belief And Rahu here is forcing you to listen to others. Focus on the other people's belief system, and then you create your path. But what you need to work on is to connect with what you believe, not again the narrative coming from the others. And of course, ninth house is also about the spiritual path and devotion. So be devoted to what you believe in, what's your path, stick to it. That's the most significant thing. And again, strength is important, as Saturn aspects the first house, and then you have Ketu in the third house. Strength, courage, you're working on it. And view this world through your heart right now, not with the pride, not by this intention of getting more respect. Because if you are looking for respect, it's matter of your pride, Saturn is hurting you the most then. So connecting with that soul, connecting with your heart, this is important. So this is improving your relationships. Saturn may slow down the affairs of the seventh house. You have to look into detail, you have to sit, confront others, and to make things work. And Saturn will help you to uplift your relationships. You will emerge out to be so strong as a person who is ready to commit to so many things. If you are worried about committing to your path, committing to others, committing to your career, you feel as if it's not happening, like I want to do this but it's not happening in a dedicated manner, it will happen now. Saturn will support you in this devoted path. And for a lot of people, how Saturn is in the 7th house and Rahu in the 9th house, this is long distance journeys. Long distance journey to learn new things, to acquire skills. And even because of your work, this travel is going to benefit you a lot. Initially, it may look risky, but it will benefit you in a great way. For Virgo, Saturn is going retrograde in your 6th house in Aquarius. And the theme for this transit is your strength, fortitude, trying to be courageous even in the most testing times. Because Saturn in the 6th house, as it goes retrograde, it's challenging your strength, power, and vitality. How you deal with your competition, your challenges, and still you are powerful, still you are in your element. The lesson which you learn here is you're not getting drained, you're not getting bitter with the life's experiences, but instead you're becoming more wiser and more powerful, more I would say it's like you are dedicated. No one is taking you away from your goal, the path you have chosen. More dedicated, more persevering towards the path you have chosen. So, as I mentioned, Saturn will open a chapter where you have to look into in great detail, you have to work the most, development is required. So here Saturn opens a chapter of power, of strength, and not just it's about the mental and emotional strength, it is also the vitality, the health. So the first focus is your fitness, and fitness with respect to all aspects of life, whether it's your physical fitness, it's emotional fitness, it's your finances, bringing everything into this alignment, taking care of every aspect, every element in your life to be more strong. So when you work on every single thing, imagine how powerful you will become, becoming whole again. Okay, so completing this, uh, completing yourself in every aspect, that fulfillment, because your seventh house, which is actually the house of Venus, is hemmed between Saturn on the one side, Rahu on the other side in the eighth house. That sense of harmony, fulfillment is being challenged. So slowly and gradually, you're working on every single thing of your life, and that needs courage, and that also needs strength, not to just fight with the factors which are in opposition, but also a part of you which is like in opposition to you, a narrative, a voice in you which is against you. Okay, you are against your own ideas sometimes, the life you want. So fighting with that part of yourself. And Saturn, as I said, will open a chapter where you need to work. That is your strength, your power, and how you are confident about yourself in the world. How dedicated you are to yourself, number one, and how you will work for others. So it's about service, it's about strength, and it can be corrected. It can be improved by looking into where Rahu is placed. So Rahu in the 8th house in Aries. Something which you're not acknowledging, this lack of acceptance of the current situation, like it's not working, maybe this will take time. So acknowledging that flaw, which is somehow making you angry, anxious, because Rahu in Aries with Jupiter, this is about being anxious about something, filled to the brim, emotionally agitated. So learning to calm down that thunderstorm happening in the 8th house, then you find that fulfillment. Then you will find more power when you accept a certain situation the way it is. So Saturn in the 6th house, it's like logic. It's pushing you to go with the flow, with the reality, no matter how harsh it is, no matter how strong you have to be to accept that. But Rahu in the 8th house, it's about heart. So it's head versus heart happening in the chart in the 6th and the 8th house. And the 7th house of partnerships, 7th house of how the world views you, how you work in your relationship. This is being challenged. So that fulfillment, that balance in important connections will happen once you go through this path of accepting the self. If you have a weakness, if you have made mistakes, sometimes you might not be consistent with what you do. So not blaming self, not blaming others as well, because as the 7th house is hemmed, there's a lot of blaming on others too. Like this happened because someone was not good, someone was not right, someone did this injustice. But as Saturn goes retrograde in this house of justice in the 6th house, first do justice to yourself. That's what you are learning. You're refusing to acknowledge again a reality, a truth, and you're also refusing a part of you which is so strong. So strength becomes the major thing in this transit. And it is also about not forcing things to happen. Working on your power, be dedicated to your path, your finances, your career, taking care of your health, but not forcing anything with respect to the 7th house. Whether it's the people around you, whether it's a significant partnership, relationship, not forcing things to happen. This is the house ruled by Pisces, and as this house is hemmed, you need to see where life takes you. And all you have to do is to be in sync with now and working on your strength. This is a significant time of change, like getting more concerned about your health, about your well-being. Everything starts from you. That's the most important thing. And also a sense of like something is absent, something is missing in life, and that's actually coming through Rahu. That sense of crisis or some kind of unexpected event happening, and you feel like, I wish I had this so I could have been better in this situation. Whatever you feel is missing, actually Saturn is preparing you for that, to get it with full strength, to get that thing forever, like long lasting success, long lasting growth, long lasting foundation. And you're being prepared for it, because whatever you thought, like I want this, for that you need great power. You need to be having a sense of duty as well, and because that gift comes through that sense of duty. Your career path which you want to follow, big shift in career path is happening with Saturn going retrograde, big achievements. But with that, the responsibility, the duties are also increasing. So learning to be dedicated to your duties, to your responsibilities, that's what Saturn wants you to learn. And of course, health is important, I do see, because Rahu is also challenging the health, and it's more coming through the stress, inflammation, and also problems connected to the head or unexplained headaches. So taking care of health is important at this time. For Libra, Saturn will go retrograde in your fifth house in Aquarius. And what is fifth house is about? It's about celebration, happiness. This is also about your creative talents and potential. So, what's happening with this transit? The major theme is to be more flexible, because this is the house of Sun, and Sun is about confidence, whereas Saturn here brings the rule. Saturn brings the need to conform with what the others are doing, so I have to do the same. Big theme right here is to work on that potential, because what you have, those talents, maybe a hobby, maybe what you have learned from your school or whatever degree you had, it's important. It's just that as Saturn goes retrograde, you need to make some changes. Some areas are there where you want to do things your way, but it might not work. So you get an idea from someone else, see how someone is doing that work, so you get the answer, you know how to do the problem solving. Some areas are where the conventional methods are not working, so you give your own twist, you give your own ideas, and that will work. So that adaptation, the flexibility is important. And there can be a fear of change, like this is my goal, this is my path, and what if I have to take up a new path, what if I have to turn somewhere, the journey is not going the way I planned. It could happen, because what you are developing in this transit is to learn to be flexible, to learn the adaptation, and to focus on your skills, your potential, polishing it up. And what happens, as I said, like Saturn opens this book, this chapter of developing the flexibility, but what needs to be corrected in order to get that? Rahu. Where Rahu is right now, Rahu in Aries in the 7th house. So how the world reacts to your success, how the world reacts to your work, it keeps you a bit unhappy. It keeps you demotivated. You don't see that support, and sometimes even there is not enough loyalty in your life. Like the people you truly adore, like you have a lot of expectations from them, they're not giving you back that support. So Rahu triggers you because it's in the seventh house in Aries, along with Jupiter, which is the sixth lord, and also the third house ruler. So what comes in your way as an obstacle, especially when you see you're not being supported, your efforts are also going down. As Saturn goes retrograde, what it's bringing in your life is to see things patiently, in detail. You are building something right now, and I do see it's regarding the career, finding more strong ground in your professional path, and it's time to reassess. It's like you're creating a building, or you have created a building in the past, and now you look around and see what if there is some kind of problem, some kind of flaw in that what you have created. So look into the detail and try to make it more strong, doing certain changes, reconstructive work to make things more strong and better. This is what Saturn is doing, and on a soul level, Saturn wants you to learn that do not run after that small moment of happiness you may get by doing things quite quickly. Like you're planning to achieve something and you are trying to get it done very quickly, that foundation will be weak. So happiness is important, and when you have this beautiful gift which you created, and you're getting this reward, is also amazing. Support your skill. That's the big message. Support your talent if someone else is not doing, because Rahu in Aries, it throws you out of balance, where others are not trusting what you have, others are not trusting the path you chose. So foundation, taking care of your approach towards the work, towards yourself as well, and working on the planning is also happening. And do not fear any change. Like things will turn out to be so better than what you are constantly imagining. Sixth lord Jupiter with Rahu, your imagination is also becoming your obstacle. That overthinking leading to over imagination, that needs to be stopped. And also work on your enthusiasm. Like sometimes you do lose hope, you do lose that positivity, which needs, like, you need to come back to that positive state in life. And this is also the house of children. This is the house of you're creating something in life. So some major changes may happen in the lives of your children. A major decision needs to be made. Some kind of major financial investment is being done for the children, or you want to create something, maybe a new assignment, maybe it's a new work which you are doing all by yourself. And if you're working for someone else, you are employed, Saturn here is indicating that the authority questions your work. But at this time, trusting again, that trust is important. Having a very positive approach towards the skills you have, and also be open to learn, to adapt, and to accept the changes. And also there is a fear of the seventh house, coming through the seventh house, which makes you uneasy. It impacts your potential, your ability to uh, dedicate yourself into your work, and that is Rahu in Aries. This is leading to new initiation in partnerships, new initiation in the love life, maybe, because um, there is something which blocks you from the seventh house, not letting you to fully be yourself, constant pretending to be someone else, to get that loyalty, to get that affection. You already have Ketu in the first house in Swati, so it shows uh, loss of a balance somewhere, because you're working so hard on the seventh house, trying to be someone who can be very well connected to others, but in that some kind of compromise is happening, and with that you're losing the trust on your own skills, on your own power. And fifth house is also the house of learning. Saturn in the fifth house, Rahu in the seventh house, coming back to that same feeling, coming back to that same situation again and again, until you learn to change something about your perspective. Or it could be, you're going through these same patterns, same situations. It is mostly about the public life, the love life, which is happening again and again. You go through that same ordeal because you are overlooking a certain issue. And now, as Saturn goes retrograde, you have that time. You will see it, what you were missing. Understanding people around you with great depth, their intentions, understanding the root of a certain issue, why things happening again and again. So learning becomes a major aspect of this transit. For Scorpio, Saturn will go retrograde in your fourth house in Aquarius, and the theme of this transit is to attain more security and stability in your life. This is what you're working on, and you will take constant efforts to have this state of comfort in life. Whether it's your career, whether it's your domestic life, you want things to be settled. Maybe you're working on your emotional relationships, your emotional connection with someone. It could be you're working on your house, making things more refined, finding that comfort in your house, major deal regarding a property, finding that place where you can have security. And what Saturn wants you to learn here is not to be in hurry to find that security, not forcing it to happen quite quickly. Instead of taking a large step, take small steps, one step at one time. Because I have mentioned this, the retrograde Saturn will open a chapter where you have to work the most, and you're definitely working on a sense of fulfillment, finding that security, comfort in your life, having a more strong ground for yourself. But what needs to be corrected, we have to see through Rahu, the root which needs to be corrected. So, Rahu is in the sixth house in Aries. That urge to do things quickly, to achieve things quickly, to see the results in a quick manner. So that hustle, that need to get things quick. I want to make it happen now, as soon as it's possible. Now Rahu is creating blocks, because Rahu is not allowing you to see the big picture. It's not allowing you to be in a state of balance. It's throwing you out of balance constantly. And the more you take each and everything slowly, the more you will see security, stability coming into your life. And sixth house is also the house of the habits, the daily routine. So, something about your daily routine, very small things where you need to pay attention quite closely. It could be simply your diet, or simply like how you're eating your food. What are you doing at that time? Is your mind somewhere else while you're eating your food? Cleaning your space, very small things which we don't focus on so much in a daily life. So focusing on each and every small thing. For a lot of people, this could also be about a very big change happening in life. It makes you uncomfortable and you don't know how it will happen, how much work you have to put in. So Saturn wants you to understand, because this is the house of the moon where Saturn is right now transiting. So how the moon have different phases, let life unfold. Let's just go through these phases life has to give, and slowly the big plan, the big thing will unfold, rather than getting in this state of unhappiness, feeling this burden all the time that, oh my god, I have this huge task to do. What you can do is start from the small steps. You have to travel the entire path, of course, you have to take the responsibilities, but one step at one time, and slowly you reach to the peak. And also focusing on the prayers, focusing on your connection with higher power is so important, as Ketu is in the 12th house. Rahu makes things a bit difficult, that overwhelmed response to everything, competition in your life, any kind of conflict, it keeps you overwhelmed and anxious. Whereas Ketu in the 12th house is indicating that this surrender, like, I'm doing my bit, I'm doing my best actually, and then there is also a great support for me out there. So more assistance coming into your life from the higher power at this time. So what Saturn wants you to learn is, there's a lot of work piled up for you. Especially I see that work is connected to your home, your daily life. Maybe a lot of things pending, where you have to do a certain task for your loved ones, your relatives, your family, and you're constantly postponing this. But now it's the time to work for those issues, and also for yourself. So Saturn will throw you out of the comfort zone. Rahu is keeping you overwhelmed, but also a time when, if you focus on the small steps, things will grow very nicely and you will attain more security in life. You are working on your financial security, your home security, and most importantly, your emotional security, investing in your relationships, and also letting go such people, such bonds where you are actually against yourself. These people, they influence you in a such a way that at the end you turn against yourself. They make you feel like that. So Saturn wants you to let go these people as well. So the theme is to improve your health as well. Rahu is shaking things a bit, so that you start taking care of your health, physical health, mental health. And definitely someone is out there, maybe an elder or authority, someone telling you to leave a path which you truly are passionate about, and continue with that path. There will be a person, authority, challenging you at this time, but you need to stick to what you believe in. And also Saturn is your third lord. Um, it's time to listen, but do things the way you want to. Listen more, but uh, let your work speak at this time. And yeah, certainly responsibilities are going up with respect to home, that's for sure. But this transit is helping you to work on your endurance, getting emotionally strong, and finding that security within you, not depending on someone else to find that safe place, but understanding that you are a safe place for yourself. If you turn against yourself, then nothing can help you to grow and to be balanced. So, strength is something which is so essential at this time. Also, as Saturn is in the fourth house and Rahu in the sixth, it could also be um, starting with a procedure like taking up a financial loan to assist your work or to assist your plan regarding, buying a home or a property. So some kind of debt is indicated at this time. Either you're initiating this process of getting a loan, or it could be that you're working very hard to pay your loan, your installments at this time. For Sagittarius, Saturn will go retrograde in the third house in Aquarius. And the theme of this transit is to hold on to your plans and your dreams. Whatever you want to create, you need to have a strong faith in that. You need to work on your strength, your endurance to stick to your plans. So, as Saturn is going retrograde, it's a great time to revisit your plans, to revise them, to see what you are creating. Do you need to change something in your plans? Like you need to take a different path, you need to put in a certain new technique. So your actions are important. Learning to correct something, learning to take a different path, to pursue a different technique, to create what you want to, what you have imagined to create in this life, or whatever your current goal is. Transforming that goal into reality is what you are learning, and for that, you are working on your willpower, you're working also on your skills and your methods. And most importantly, Saturn wants you to learn about speaking what you believe in, not speaking what others will agree to, what others may find it comfortable to hear, but to speak out what you believe in and stick to it. And as I mentioned, as Saturn is transiting from a certain house, that house needs development, a lot of work. So you're working on your skill, you're working on your power, your strength, and your ability to take initiatives to reach to that point. But something needs to be corrected. And it will be seen from Rahu's transit, where Rahu is transiting right now. So it's in the fifth house. Fifth house, Aries. We also have Jupiter there, which is your first lord. Your potential, your creative potential, your skills. This is also a house which shows your passion, creative passion. So Rahu here is indicating whatever you're passionate about, whatever you want. Sometimes we lose our vision in fighting for that goal. Rahu is making you so passionate, so involved into it, that you definitely want to achieve a goal, but you have lost your vision, you have lost that wisdom, like how can I get it. So there is no method here, you're not using the right method to get what you want. You're just following it, but your tacts, your skills, your actions are not that strong, or they're not targeted at the right place. So, what you need to focus is on passion is a good thing, but opening your eyes and looking into everything in detail, not to be in hurry, because Rahu is forcing you to hurry. It could be your work, and you need to master a skill. You need to practice it again and again, but you want quick results, so you're rushing to get things done. It could be a relationship, a romantic relationship, though deep within you want something stable, someone who can support you. But Rahu is like, okay, let me just, get into this relationship quickly, because what if I may not find someone again who is so suitable? So you are rushing with respect to the fifth house affairs. And this keeps you away from understanding that whatever you want to achieve right now, there is a path to it. There's certain procedure, method you need to follow. There should be more patience. Whatever keeps you off balance in the fifth house, it impacts your courage and strength. It could be currently someone significant, a friend, a romantic relationship. This person is keeping you out of focus from your goals. It could be a certain habit of yours. It's keeping you away from your true goals and your true journey, true path, where you will find a lot of success. Or simply it's a rush to celebrate and enjoy life. This is the house of Sun, where Rahu is right now transiting. So you have such big dreams, because we also have Jupiter there. Over expansion of that need to feel happy, to enjoy, to be at the topmost place in your friend circle. So more focus on which is not so important right now. Happiness is important, but getting back to your work, practicing your skills is important. And the same way, when it comes to your relationships, your friendships, romantic connection, losing self to attain the attention of others is happening. So Saturn will wake you up. It will show you the path of stand for your own self, take hold of your power, and speak your truth, not what others want to listen from you so they can accept you all the time, but speak your truth. That is more important. It's quite a good time if you want to start with your own work, or you are in your own work. Things may slow down, but the changes which you may do at this time, this will give you long lasting success. This is a time of planning, and if you have a plan, it's a great time to put in your efforts. Saturn is supporting you in this, and it will also lead to financial growth. And moreover, you are finding the power to do such great tasks at this time, which you thought was so impossible and difficult, but now suddenly you have this power to do everything you wanted to. And Rahu may keep you stuck in certain memories coming through other people, which is not so supportive right now, keeping you agitated. So not getting stuck in the past memories is very important. So it's okay to have a dream, you have certain wishes, but sometimes we do get into the illusion of that perfect picture we want. We get so attached to a certain dream that we almost forget that a certain procedure, method is required, a technique is required to reach to that place. So attachment to your dreams, to your passion, is what Saturn wants you to learn here, is to get away from it and focus on the real work. and you are getting more practical in your relationships now, not getting emotionally vulnerable. That's a very strong aspect of this transit. For Capricorn, Saturn will go retrograde in the second house in Aquarius. And the theme of this transit is protection. Taking care of what you have right now. Conserve what you have. Saturn wants you to work on your finances very efficiently, how you use your finances, how you manage your money. This is what you have to learn. And apart from money, how much do you value yourself as a person, as a soul? Are you giving too much to others? Are you giving everything to people and just to find that support in love? So Saturn is helping you to create that wall where you need to respect yourself as well, like how you respect your people. Family is important. Family is a big theme in this transit, where you are supporting them with finances, you are supporting them through your words, through your presence. They definitely, someone elder at this time needs you the most, a family member, and you'll be there for this person. That's a test of Saturn, showing yourself and doing what is required. You have to show up for your loved ones, but also you need to show up for yourself, learning that how you can respect the beauty you have, not the physical beauty, but beauty as a person, as a soul, the qualities you have, the good nature you have, how amazing you are. Understanding that fact, respecting this is important. And as I mentioned, where the Saturn goes right now, wherever it's retrograde, that house needs development, that needs major work. And the route, how it can be improved, it comes through Rahu, the Rahu's current transit. So Rahu is in the 4th house. This is a big time when you have to work on your emotional state, not letting a tiny challenge or any kind of scenario shaking you up to the core. Because as I mentioned, Saturn wants you to learn about respecting yourself. This is the house which belongs to Venus. This is the house which belongs to Taurus. And attaining that Taurus-like strength, power, like no matter what happens, you won't budge. You're fully dedicated and powerful. So your power needs to be grown at this time. And how you will grow? By not reacting over emotionally or anxiously right now. Rahu in the 4th house in Aries with Jupiter, which is your 3rd and the 12th lord. There is this over emotional response to things. If someone is saying which you don't like, someone is saying that okay, you're not good enough, and then there's a big response to it, someone not treating you well, things not happening the way you want to. Jupiter is bringing the unexpected expenditures or situations, being the 12th lord. So the response is okay, like we do react to things which we find uncomfortable, but it's an over exaggerated response which keeps you stuck in that agitated state for a long period. And when you do that, it leads to financial loss. As Saturn is right now in the 2nd house, it impacts your ability to manage your money, it impacts your ability to earn more money. So the more you react in an anxious way. You are over emotional. The more your finances, your strength, your power is being impacted. So you don't have to just protect your finances, but protect yourself, your powers, your true beauty, your true talents, and what makes you so valuable. You have a great value in this world. Your nature, your personality, your deeds, your actions, it shows your worth. Respecting that worth is important. You may find certain people in the family, because both houses are connected to family, where you establish emotional bonds. Saturn in Aquarius in the second house, and the co-lord of Aquarius, Rahu, in the fourth house of home, the domestic front. People who are challenging you, they are family, but they are very challenging to you, to your future path, to your goals and your ambitions. So finding a way to not to give too much of time and your energy to them, and protecting your energy for great things in life. You do have something to create. Like, after some time, Saturn will go into the third house, so there is a major plan to establish something, to grow something, and for that you need to conserve your power, your money and resources, and also protecting your mind and emotions. Further, the Ketu is in the 10th house, and this could be about losing your focus somewhere, or you're feeling like your efforts are not working, things are taking a lot of time. There is confusion, a big confusion, and Saturn wants you to give this reminder that whatever you're working on right now, it's going to give you tremendous success, and this success is long term. But ultimately, sometimes you question your worth again. Second house is about worth, and you challenge your worth, or someone else comes into the picture and this person challenges your worth, and it is somehow impacting the Ketu in Libra in the 10th house. So you disconnect more, because you have to focus how Saturn is already in the house of Venus, and somehow it impacts your 10th house. It's impacting how you are connected with your work. The problem is that you are disconnected from your profession, or whatever you are doing right now, and that disconnection is again quite deep rooted to the Rahu in the fourth house. How a loved one, or someone with whom you have emotional connection, how these people are making you feel. So the root is to be very careful about the environment where you are right now. You're blooming like a flower, and a plant, this flower needs all kinds of nutrients. Second house is about the nutrients, the food we eat. So what you feed to yourself at this time is important. Give yourself the right environment. Disconnecting is important. You're very courageous, you're ready to face and confront everyone, but you also have to give your mind that break and a safe place to grow. And also at this time, find things, do these things which make you happy. It could be your hobby, it could be any kind of activity which makes you very motivated. Doing that work is important. For Aquarius, Saturn is going retrograde in the first house, and the theme is big shift, a very big change in your life. And it's not like you want a change to happen and you're doing it. It's initiating from within, from your mind, like completely changing. Like you upload a new software, that kind of a change. a very deep rooted change in your life which you want. Till now, it might have been like a surface level desire to uh, get a certain thing done. I want this kind of change in my career, so all happening on a surface level. But this is a deep rooted one, like connecting to that very conscious of your mind, deep seated change. And this is not just about work, how the world views you, but how you view yourself. So, what Saturn wants you to develop, as I mentioned, wherever Saturn is right now, the house, the retrograde movement of Saturn will open a chapter where you have to work the most. A big development happens there. And this development is about understanding self, like waking up and getting more aware of where you are, what needs to be changed, what needs to be taken care of, how you can improve. A beautiful change in your personality. And this is coming through acceptance of who you truly are, accepting that, not rushing to change yourself constantly how the world demands you to be. The people may complain like, oh, what happened to you, you act like a rebel now, why are you revolting? So you may hear this, but this is who you are. Once you know yourself better, people will instantly feel it, like, why you act like this, you were not like this, right? So that kind of change is happening, and it is beautifully reflecting in your projects, in your work, your ability to commit to yourself and to the work which you can do so wonderfully for others. In that dream, it's not just your success, but through you, so many people are gaining something. So your work is like that in this transit. And Saturn wants you to not just develop yourself, becoming more disciplined, becoming more consistent in your path, and also it wants you to find new ways, not sticking to the old patterns, because we cannot forget Saturn is right now in Aquarius, so that Rahu factor is there, constantly looking into new places, new avenues, new plans, new ways of working. So exploration is happening, and that's why most people may not like this, but you are succeeding. That's the most important part. And you will slow down a bit, that rush to achieve things. If you want to be strong, Rahu, or you need to see where Rahu is placed, because like you're working on your first house right now. You're working on your personality, your power, your strength, your qualities, your traits, your skills, but something keeps you off balance and it needs to be taken care of. We have to see where Rahu is. The answers lies in that house where Rahu is. So Rahu in the third house in Aries. This shows avoid being impulsive. Whenever you have to make a decision, you want to follow a path, take care of the method, the action you choose to get to that thing, whatever you want to achieve right now. Rahu makes you impulsive here. Taking care of your communication, how you communicate, how you convey your message. That's a significant thing where you have to work. You have to explain yourself, but it can be in a much better way. Avoiding aggression, that's what you need to learn, and having a better understanding of where you are and what can be done, rather than taking impulsive decisions, because you need the change. You want to develop something. You need to I want to be in power. No one can shake me up, but people can shake you up because of the Rahu in the third house. They can trigger you in seconds. This needs to be taken care of. that agitation, anger, that is a point which can make you weak at this time. So the more you have the endurance, the more beautifully you're going to evolve. And stick to your plans. Don't shift from one thing to another. Hold on to what you believe in. It could be your career, it could be your personal goals, because third house where Rahu is, along with the 11th lord Jupiter, certainly a dream of growing something, a dream of expansion of money, expansion of maybe I would say expansion of network, finding more people, more resources who can help you to acquire your professional or financial goals. Whatever you want, avoid the impulsive decisions. And also, as Saturn aspects the seventh house, ruled by Leo, it shows with respect to your partnerships, important people in your life, relationships, respecting the other person's individuality, and also that other person respecting your individuality. This is a big lesson coming through Saturn, because you're working on your individuality and personality, understanding of self. You're removing all the clouds from your sky, and you are so aware of self, so connected to self. All that cloudiness is going away, and as you embrace your individuality, you're also learning to understand the individuality of others, how to be in harmony, where you are your own self and the other person is also allowed to be in their own element. So, understanding other people's individual journeys and getting inspired by them, it's helping you a lot. Rather than fighting, finding the middle path and understanding everyone, looking at their journey, like why they are acting like this. It's helping you. Other people's experiences will guide you in your own path during this transit. For Pisces, Saturn is going retrograde in your 12th house in Aquarius, and the theme of this transit is to reawaken your dreams, to reawaken yourself. Like you're going into this recharging mode. Take your time, whatever you want to do, take your time, full time, to acquire it, to work on it. There's no need to rush and complete things. For the sake of completing, don't complete things, because it will lack the detailing, it will lack the beauty you want to experience in this life. So Saturn going retrograde in the 12th house is indicating working on your personal self, taking care of your mind. Yes, it is leading to expenditures, unexpected expenditures coming in your way, and with this you need to focus more on how you manage your money. It could also be like you're dreaming too big about something, you want it, but as I mentioned, like wherever the Saturn is placed right now, that house needs to be developed. But in order to make that aspect of life strong, let's see where Rahu is placed. Wherever the Rahu is placed, that aspect of life needs to be corrected, to be strengthened, so that Saturn helps you here. So Saturn shows dreaming big about something, a very big plan in your mind, and you want it. But Rahu in the second house is giving financial struggles. Financially, you need to be more wise. This is what you are learning in this transit: how to save money, how to manage your finances. Whatever the dream you have, maybe when you achieve that, your expenditures may also go high. with this. Suppose like you're dreaming of a beautiful car you always wanted, but it's so expensive. Even if you purchase it, along with that you have to pay the taxes, you have to pay more for its maintenance. So the dream, which is right now so important for you, that it's cost to maintain it, to make it long lasting, it's a heavy price. So preparing first your finances are important. And this is not just about money. Again, whatever you have in your mind for that, do you have enough strength? Do you have enough time? Do you have enough you know power to take care of it, to nurture it on a long term basis? It's asking you a question, that are you prepared or not for what you're dreaming for? So learning that patience, learning to first work on your strength. And this strength is more about accepting the self acceptance is a major theme for this transit. Understanding of self, not draining yourself because how others are treating you, what they're expecting from you. You should not drain yourself because of others. The flaws, the qualities, the good and the bad within you, the acceptance is important. Constantly, when we change ourselves as per the society, because in your chart Saturn rules the 11th house as well, Capricorn. So shifting, changing self so that you are more connected to the world, people can accept you. So this has led to isolation, like you have moved away from your own self. And that's why Saturn is bringing the need of rejuvenation, reawakening yourself, and stand stronger for your own sake, for your own self. And a great support is also happening in this transit. It's going two ways. If you are being asked for help, you're definitely going to do that. And this help is bringing so much of expansion in your life. It's not material. I'm not saying if you help others you will be rewarded, but this deed of helping others is unlocking something. Like it's removing a block from your journey as you give a helping hand to others. And this is also about receiving great help from some people. It could be a very important friend in your life, a social connection supporting you at the very right time. It could be the moral support, it could be the financial support, but you are supported. Like there is great assistance in this transit happening for you. And continue with your spiritual path. Saturn in the 12th house. Never fail to say what you want. Never stop to pray and ask for what you desire. That connection with the higher power is important. It counts in this transit. And as I mentioned, as Saturn goes retrograde, it does give the Cheshtabal, the ability to put in the efforts. Okay, so you are enhancing your efforts in a very great way, and it is mainly towards finding your strength. Like I don't have to pretend to be accepted by the world or my loved ones. Standing for yourself, it's the big theme here. And for many people this is also about creating a strategy, a big plan to completely move into a new place. It could be a faraway place in your own country. It could also be moving into foreign lands. So getting all the legal things done, all the documents and the legal procedures. So working on that may happen. during this transit, but don't focus on the isolation which you may face at this time, or feeling like I want this is what I want to create, but I don't see my dreams are matching with the other people's dreams. Like, why my path is so different from others, or why my situation is so different from others. Like, most of them are in this direction and I'm in this other direction. Accepting it, finding this truth that you have a unique path, you have something unique. Your lessons might be very different from the lessons of other people.